Alright, hello and welcome to another modern stream. Today we're going to be playing Titan Vial? Close enough. This is Dom Harvey's, the one and only, the legend, Dom's take on the archetype. And it's a little bit interesting. It's definitely based on the whole Titan Vial shell, right? We have Reclaimers, we have Flagstones, and we have the Eladamber Skull to enable our tutor package. But what Dom did is he cut all 4 vials and added 4 lands instead. What these lands are some extra fetch lands. We see 3 fetches when Titan Vial only, I mean, played only 3 fetches. He added a 1 of Sigiri's Step. This is a card that I constantly people were suggesting to me over and over again. Hey Leviathan, how's it going? And I just continuously kept saying no because in the Titan Vial mana base, the cost of having an ETB tap land that doesn't even cast your Reclaimer is it's too damn high. It's too damn high. So I don't think that it's worth playing if you're only gonna be running 27 lands like I was in Titan Vial. If you're running 31 instead, then it's a little bit more defensible for sure, particularly when you can use Reclaimer and Knight of Reliquary to protect your important cards. Of course, the biggest difference between this deck and Titan Vial is the fact that this is actually a Primeval Titan deck, right? While Titan Vial is not. So we have the Reclaimer, the Flagstones, the Dryads, but we're actually trying to ramp into Primeval Titan. So when you're trying to do this, cards like Cavern of Souls, Castle Gernbreak, all these cards have a completely new, have a lot more value. And Viper subscribed to the Primetime Stronghold for the first time. Thank you so much, Viper. Really appreciate it. I'll give you some Primetimes and a thinking Primetime. There you go. Hell yeah. Thank you for the support there, man. Okay, so as I was saying, this is actually a Primeval Titan deck. And we're trying to ramp into Titan. Yeah, we're trying to cast Titan fast and furiously. Also, we have access to our Warrior Gracer as some additional 1-drops that allow, of course, Gracer allows us to ramp into our 3-drops, which we have access to Knight of the Reliquary, Knight of Autumn, Courser, Tracker, Stringbloom Druid, which is actually a very, very good one that I tested when I was testing Titan Vial. This was actually Sam Black's suggestion, and I thought it was very cool. And not only was it very cool, but it was actually quite effective. I didn't play it in Titan Vial for curve purposes, but it's still it was still very good. Whenever I cast this card, I was very, very happy with the outcome. So because this list is not playing Steves, then Spring Bloom, man, this is gonna be rough. The Druid, the Druid is pretty solid. And then we have, of course, the 1 of Raminap and the 1 of Elder Gargaroth, which has been the most underwhelming card, but I still continue playing even in Titan Vial because it's a way to beat not only the Prowess deck, but it's also a way to beat Blood Moon decks in game 1. So we have one answer to a Blood Moon, but once they play the second one, it's oftentimes pretty hard for us to win. Gargaroth kind of gives us an out because it's just like such a huge threat in and of itself that I've been just playing this card. We also have 4 copies of Path because we're not playing Thalia. So this does a couple of things for us. First of all, it allows us access to removal game 1 besides Dryad plus Valakut, which is going to be definitely a lot better against decks like Jund, against decks like Humans, and all of the creatures decks. But also, it frees up a bunch of cyber slots. The cost that we're paying is that we are basically never ever going to be beating Storm or Ad Nauseam or any of those decks. Like, we're kind of just conceding those matchups and like try to focus on the fair, basically playing the fair fight, which this deck, of course, plays very well. Also, Thalia was surprisingly great, particularly when dialed in against the Udo decks. When you make their cryptics cost 5, it sometimes does tax them enough that they allow you to progress your gameplay a lot more freely. When we go to the sideboard, we have Burintor Forge Tender. This is, of course, a great one against all the Prowess strategies and stuff like that. Unsure whether it's better or worse than Core 5 Walker. I guess we're going to figure that out. One Warrior Gracer in the sideboard, which is like the complete this is why I always love Dom's brews. It's because he will take some cards and he will use them in a way that nobody ever thought about. Like, have you ever seen a Gracer in the sideboard before? If you have, then I would be very surprised. But it makes so much sense, right? Like, because against the Prowess decks and Burn and stuff like that, Gracer is literally the perfect card in the matchup. Like, it ramps you, it is a body that blocks, so it progresses your game plan while still being a roadblock that your opponent needs to answer in order to enact their game plan. So it's hilarious, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, it's super weird, but it makes a lot of sense. We have Teague. I did play Teague in Titan Vial. It was very, very lackluster for me. But we're going to be giving it another shot here. Basically, against all the decks where Teague is good, they just bolt it or push it or whatever, and they just kill you anyway. So it doesn't really do that much. The full 4 Purges, I love this. I think Purge is this deck's best cyber card, far and away the best cyber card that you can play in this deck. So happy to see that we actually have room for the full 4 copy of Purges. Beast Within, we can destroy Tron lands, we can destroy stuff like that. I'm not so sold on Beast Within, if I'm being honest, in this shell. In AmuLIT it makes a lot of sense because we can destroy Ashiok, we can kill Devoted Druid and stuff like that. But against the Devoted Druid, first of all, we're probably not gonna be winning anyway. And second of all, we already have like the full 4 paths, so like the 2 extra beasts within are not very relevant. I imagine we're gonna be bringing this in against Tron and AmuLIT and decks like that, but I wonder if this could be something else. 1 Eidolon, 1 Aven Mind Sensor, 3 Boils, which is the weird card in the sideboard, and the Arasta. But let's talk about Boil. Boil is a card that is literally the only card that we're splashing. So we have Arid Mesa, and we have all the fetches, and we have 2 Valakuts and 1 of Sacred Foundry. Of course, we're using the Plains, we're using the Sacred Foundry because of the Flagstones, right? So if we can destroy their Flagstones, or even have 2 copies of Flagstones, we sack 1 of them to the Legends rule, and then we can go fix our mana with Sacred Foundry. So you don't really need more than like the one land. And I already said that multiple times already that splashing in Titan Vials basically makes no sense, and I really doubt that you're gonna be able to like find a card that is worth splashing for. Still, this is what I would call a free splash, right? Against the decks that you want this card against, not only are there horrible matchups for this version, like even though like the control decks are usually an okay matchup for Titan Vial, big part of the reason why that is because of the card Titan Vial and because of the card Thalia. So without access to both of those cards, then the control matchups become kind of a nightmare. So we have access to the full the 3 copies of Boil. And again, by the time that you want to be casting this card, you will have, just without even wanting it, you're just going to have access to a red source by that point. So this is like the kind of card that you can actually splash for, and it's going to be okay. It's very different when you're trying to splash for Wrenn and Six, which is a card that you want to very often be playing on turn 2. And you have to really go out of your way in order to be able to cast it. It's 2 very, very different scenarios. So I am okay with Boil. I'm unsure whether it's like really that necessary. It might be because it kind of helps fix the Scape Shift matchup specifically. So it might be okay. But yeah, definitely if you're trying to splash a card, it needs to be a card like this one, right? You cannot just go around splashing random nonsense. Like, it needs to be a card that it's like super late game bomb, you know, like a late game hoser. All right. We don't have the combo, but we have double reclaimer, so we can get the engine rolling. I think I'm gonna keep this. Played this earlier through Intuitive. Yeah, the deck is fun. I mean, it's probably gonna be as fun as Titan Vial, maybe a little bit less fun because Titan Vial has Vial. You can do like Vial tricks, which are hilarious, but I love the main deck paths. Yeah, I'm not so sold on the main deck paths. Because usually the cards that Path is good, the decks that Path is good against, we don't really struggle with so much. Okay. We have Courser in our deck. Captain, my Captain. Thank you for the follow. I think I'm gonna sacrifice the Cavern here, so I'm just gonna play Cavern on Merfolk. Stop on the draw step. We might need to bog them. You have a Thug in hand. I am going to bog here only if I have to. Yeah, you get a reunion. And we might have to. Yeah, this is certainly enough. So what did they get? Oh, this is so annoying. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a goal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another 1, 1, 2, 3. So they mailed Thug ×2 and the Loam. This is the most ridiculous thing. Get bogged, nerd. Sure. We can still bog again, and this deck actually does have access to Selesnya Sanctuary, so we can bounce the bog, replay it, etc, etc. Double Chill plus Ox. 1, 2. They also have an Imp, so we're just gonna go get Vesuva. Oh, we're not playing Vesuva? Oh no! We're not playing Vesuva, chat. Oh, that makes me so freaking sad. We're probably gonna be fine. Our Lurrus are 3/4 now. If they exile Chills, they cannot get back Ox, so we're probably still fine, but oof, that's rough. I think like we definitely need Vesuva in this deck. So we're playing just one copy of Field and no Vesuva. I didn't realize that before actually starting the league. Yeah, we want to fix that, 100%. We want to definitely fix that. Yeah, we gotta fix that for sure. So I'm not too worried about this just yet, because I think we're just going to use Reclaimer, sack this, let's go get Groves. Unfortunately, we were one short of doing this the turn prior. But it seems important to bog right here. Do I care about attacking? Probably not. I'm not sure I understand the logic of taking out Vial. I thought that was an innovation that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but people have been going this route. One thing that I think... One thing that I think that people are undervaluing, in my opinion, like, for example, the more I play with this deck, the more that I like Vile. Right? Like the more powerful that Vile seems. If you watch some of my streams, I am very often saying it's insane how good Vile has been in this deck. Right? It is something that actually happens quite often, where I am just blown away by the power of Aether Vile. And people are very, very quick at dismissing it, which is something that I have seen very often. So I don't know if it has to do with that. So what are we gonna do here? Where we probably just have to kill this. So we do this. Reclaimer. Suck Plains. Get Flagstones. Reclaimer. Suck this. Yes. Get Sacred Foundry. Get Valakut. Kill this guy. Do we have access to Radiant Fountain? We have to have access to Radiant Fountain here. We do. Okay, cool. I thought the whole point was to beat Aether Gust. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was the original point of the deck, yeah. Vile allows you to get multiples of your 3-drops in play quickly, lets you use your mana reclaimer and clue activations, makes call much better. It's really smart. Yeah, I honestly, Vile is, well, that's game. Vile has been overall a very, very good card for me, and the more that I play the deck, the better that I feel that it gets. So I think that people are very, very quick at they are very, very quick at disregarding the Vile. I do firmly believe so, but yeah, I mean, I'm playing, if I'm being honest, like right here, I'm not playing my deck, right? Like I'm playing somebody else's. So I am willing to, particularly with somebody like Dom, which is a player that I respect a lot. So I am willing to, before I make any changes to the deck list, I am willing to, you know, play a league with his list that he put together and then make some changes. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of how it goes, right? Like you just play the deck and you try it out, and then you see what it is that you're missing. As of right now, I want a Vesuva. Like I know that for a fact. We need a Vesuva in this deck. So Forge Tender stops Conflag. Anything else that I want? Not really. I'm really excited about this list, mostly because I don't know Biles. Yeah, sure. That's a good reason. Says around too many threats for Aether Gust to keep up with Vile or not. Yes and not. Death penalties. That's just not the way that the matchups against Aether Vile decks play out, right? The deck does have a bunch of threats, but your opponent is able to answer them on a one-to-one basis, and they always answer on our threats at a mana advantage, right? Like they are always using like 1 or 2 mana for Path to Exile or either Gust or Fatal Push or whatever. So they're always answering our threats while getting ahead on mana, or like without falling behind on mana, I guess would be more correct for me to say. So definitely it's a tightrope. It's a tightrope. Dredge is not doing that stupid thing of playing Blood in the sideboard anymore, right? That's just not a thing that happens anymore. Do you have more recent AmuLIT list? Honestly, I think that if I were playing AmuLIT right now, I would either play something that Big JC, like something like the list that Big JC was playing. Is this a Gracer matchup? It doesn't strike me as a Gracer matchup, because this is definitely a Reclaimer matchup, so... Maybe I'm undervaluing Reclaimer here. Unlikely that they will. Yeah, I know, but like there was a time where like that was Sodex innovation. Also, why are there paths in my deck? I totally forgot that this deck plays path. Whoops. Ugh. So this is gonna be on the draw at turn 3 Knight. That's just too slow. Well, these hands literally don't do anything. I love how like these paths are taunting me. Like, yeah, you kept us in. Ha 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 ha. You kept us in. LOL. God damn it. Did we move to 3? Yeah, we did move to 3. I mean, this would have been a fine 4, honestly. This would have been a fine 4, if I'm being honest. Alright. Below where I'm in. Yeah, I'm not too sold on the Bellower. Like, there's a reason why I cut it. It was on my original deck, and I cut it from my deck, right? Like, that's not really a coincidence. Okay. That's annoying. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Thug times 2, an Imp. Go get a Temple Garden. We probably steal Bog here. Because of the Flag. Is this MH1 draft? No. This is modern. Be quite a game if I pull the win. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I just don't really have enough time. I guess I can top deck exactly Primeval Titan. Can I survive? I don't think I can survive though. No, I cannot survive. Unfortunate. If we had been on the play, maybe. If we had been on the play, maybe. But on the draw, not really. Okay, so I guess I'd rather have Gracer than Path. But I'd rather have Path than Celestial Purge, I think. They play like 1 or 2 basics. So I'd rather have the more mana efficient one. Yeah, well, let's go with this. How's it going, Reb? Alright, let's be on the play, shall we? Boy, it would be great to draw a good hand. There's nothing really I can call for. Can I really go to 5 again? Probably. Ugh. Canopy seems kind of bad. Let's do this. This is not looking good, folks. Not looking good. But next turn we can call for Reclaimer. And play down the same turn. Island Host is my least favorite deck ad nauseum, so I like to the sideboard. Sure, I mean, yeah, it's a thing that you can do for sure. That's what I have in Titan Bio right now. If we get to untap with this Reclaimer, we're actually going to be in really good shape, probably. But if they have the Lightning Axe here, we probably just scoop to that. They have the Lightning Axe. No. I don't think we can beat this anymore. This was a fine 5. If we had drawn maybe a Knight or another Reclaimer there, maybe we might have been in it. I think this is just... This might be just a little bit too much, unless my opponent has like absolutely nothing. Even a loam here, it's kind of a big deal, because they get the loam plus Forgotten Cave Engine going. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to beat this. Have you tried not just plus in Titan Vial deck? Got run over by Merfolk and Blue Moon last Modern Monday. How does a red splash help any of those matchups? And yeah, Blue Moon is just a bad matchup. I don't think that red... I mean, you can splash red. I literally just talked about the splash at the beginning of the stream. I don't think that any splash is worth it, but if you're gonna splash something, it needs to be something like this, which is a card that you're gonna be casting on turns like 5+, right? So you're going to kind of just by enacting your game plan, you're gonna be casting it. Just by enacting your game plan, you're gonna be able to cast it, is what I should have said. But splashing something like Wrenn and Six or Lightning Bolt, those are not good ideas. Splashing something that you're trying to cast in the early game is not the way to go. Okay, there's an Ox. Just back it in. You say you don't like splashes, but we're splashing white. We're not splashing white. We are base green-white. I would definitely count white as a base color. Why did I get rid of Vial? That's why. No, this is Dom's list. This is Dom's list that he did. He went for one in a prelim yesterday, I think. So far, any list that I play that has not had Vial, I have wished that it had Vial. Okay, we get to untap. That's cool. Hey, let's go. I would love to draw a Dryad. And if they attempt to kill this Reclaimer, I could bog myself here. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, clearly they're looking for a land drop here. And if they miss, that means that I actually get to get the engine going. Yeah, this is huge. Okay, cool. So, sack... I guess this. So we have two basic. Bellower's back? No, it's not. Actually, if I play this, yeah, this is the play. Because now I'm gonna get to go fetch castle, and we can Titan next turn. They should have attacked first. It was a free attack. Alternatively, I can go get Blast Zone. I guess I'm just gonna get a Titan. Castle Garenbrig. So we just get Blast Zone plus Field here. Oh, they just conceded. Sweet. Alright. Playing Bellower for one experimental league counts as it being back, and you can't convince me other way. Alright, sounds good. Bellower's back then. God damn. Easy to cast Boil with, right? Yep, that's the combo. Green-white tapline duel being good here. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like the one of Scatter Groves was kind of nice there. I wonder what's the plan. Am I supposed to maybe cut Reclaimers? There's no way, right? Could see cutting Knight. I don't love Gargoth. I feel like I literally want all of this, like, ridiculous amount of removal. And I probably also want the Borento Force Tender. Gracer also sounds great. I could cut Eidolon. I don't think I want to cut Eidolon. I think Lotus Cobra would thrive in this. Try it. Just sorted the Flagstones, yeah. They already doubled in price since I bought them. I bought them last week and I got them for like $2 each, and they're currently like $4.50 or something, so. If you wanted to get on the Titan Vial train, you already are a little bit behind. But yeah, buy them now before they spike to $8. And when you buy them, use my DigiPlayer affiliate link. Hell yeah. Slayer Sunhome Karn Amulet. Nice. How's this version been? So far, it needs Vesuva. So let's start with that. We did notice that pretty quickly, actually. Path. But still probably has more utility than step. Yeah, I just dislike step, kind of by principle. I like the idea is cute and everything, but I think that overall it's just gonna be worse than probably any other. I think I'm supposed to play the Windswept Heath here. So if they play a Blood... No, they can't play Blood, but I'm an idiot. The raid is for the sideboard? Yes, there's 3 Boil in the sideboard. Molten Rain. If this is their plan, we are okay with this. Did I side out ramming up? I did. Fuck. So I probably don't want to expose the field just yet. I am okay with this. Giant. Now, well, what's white that we might want to cast? Spirit? What is this? Kithkin Wizard. So it has to be one of the white cards. Do we have any other lap? We cut the Knight. What is Dryad Knight? Dryad Knight, Spirit, and Kithkin Wizard. Unfortunately, none of those overlap. Let's name Wizard, I guess. It's kind of nice that we're holding on to Path here. Flame Slash. Sure. Titan? Valakut. Mooseman218, thank you for that tier 1 subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Appreciate it. Alright, so Lurrus effectively drew them a card, which is fine. Let's see what we're drawing. Ooh. Sounds pretty okay to me. Really like the white version of AmuLIT with Reclaimer. Well, that's the cool thing, right? Like if you have that version, like if you buy the Flagstones, now you can build Reclaimer AmuLIT if you want, which is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. Like it's probably buying Flagstones is a good deal. Hashtag sequencing. Hashtag sequencing. LOL. Alright. So that definitely looked good there, but let's remember that my opponent missed their second land drop in game 1, and they didn't answer a Reclaimer. Like, we actually got to Untitled Reclaimer, which is probably not a very common thing to happen against red-black Prowess. And not only that, but game 2, they went turn 1 Soulscar Mage, turn 2 nothing. And then they play the Molten Rain on turn 3. Like, that is not a keep against us. That is not a keep, but basically our opponent never had pressure on board, and we were able to, of course, win very easily because they just never had pressure on board. So if your plan is to destroy your lands without any pressure, then it's not gonna work out for you, because we are going to draw more lands, and if as long as we're not dead, it only takes one of our spells to just immediately take over the game. Oh, shit. Playing against Freedmania. A member of the Primetime Stronghold. And actually one of the current trophy leaders, if I'm not mistaken. Are they still up there? Yeah. 22 trophies this season. Most of them, if not everything, most of them with AmuLIT. Sandal's actually quite powerful. So we can go turn 1 Gracer, play Valakut, turn 2 Mesa, play Dryad. If we draw any land in the first 2 turns, we're going to be able to have Valakut go in as early as turn 3. Our opponent is the better deck, though. Our opponent is the better deck in the mirror, so... And we're only gonna get, I guess we're gonna get 2 triggers, so that's nice. So if they, okay, they have a slower-ish start. So we might have a shot here. If they had turn 2 Dryad, we would have been in trouble. If they hit their land drop here, they can still go Azusa into Titan thanks to a bounce land. So we're not out of the woods just yet. But we have... we're not just dead. And here I sequenced like that, basically because I want to play around my opponent naturally drawing their Bojuka Bog. Like, the 1 point of damage that I took from the canopy is basically going to be irrelevant this game. Like, we either win or we lose by a landslide. So, by doing this, I play around my opponent naturally drawing their Bojuka Bog. And I guarantee that I'm going to be able to hit all my land drops thanks to ramming up. We definitely have a really good start here. We definitely have a really, really good start. Okay, so now that we know that they didn't do like Tormod Crypt or any of that nonsense, we can do this. Get probably Scatter the Grooves. 1, 2, 3. Ramming up. Play this. Sure, I think I'm gonna fetch. For Sacred Foundry. Kill Karn. Dryad, let's go. We can get Titaned here. If we get Titaned, yeah. If we get Titaned, at least it's not with a Dryad. If they do have a Dryad that they can play second main phase, how does that leave us? Excuse me. Okay. I think we might be fine here. They might have packed. But if they do have packed, at least we get to kill their Titan. So it's not the worst. Also, they bounced into Lurrus, I think. Yeah. So the T-Ways that they have in hand means that they're going to be able to attack and they're still going to be able to transmute next turn. So I'm just going to chomp with the Gracer just to save 3 life. This guy's not doing anything else. Good thing I didn't attack with the Gracer for no reason last turn. If they get Vesuva, Stronghold, Bounce, Vesuva, and a Dread in hand, they can kill a Dread. Yeah, that is my concern. They're not hasting? They are not hasting. I think I'm gonna YOLO here. Okay, no pact, so that means we have lethal. Valakut and Flagstones. Yes, always. Pew pew. Have I missed a second field at all so far? Not really. I have missed Vesuva. Mind Sensor, Whip. This is honestly probably a boiled matchup for us. This is probably a boiled matchup for us, actually. Which is real awkward. Boil? Yeah. I think not having Vial makes the second field more necessary. Yeah, it's possible, but like we have not really come to that situation in the league so far. It stands to reason for sure, and I think that we might need to boil eventually, but it's good because it's a scenario that we have a Dryad and they have a Dryad and we don't. Yes, because if we have a Dryad and they don't, then we just saw what happened, right? Like we're in a good spot. So if we have a Dryad and they don't, then boil is fine. And if they have a Dryad and we don't, then boil can turn around the game potentially. Not having balance better against Karn. Yeah, sure. Also, the presence of Karn makes boil worse, of course. Splinter Twin assembled. So, depending on what they do on turn 2, we might have to double time walk ourselves. By double time walk, I mean we don't activate Reclaimer 2 turns in a row, but if they go turn 1, AmuLIT, yeah. Depending on what they do on turn 2, we might need to call for... We might need to call for Knight of Autumn, depending on how good their hand is. This is a weird card. It's usually the MDP in many games. It is a really, 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 really good utility land. I'll say that much. Okay, so our opponent seems to have hit one of their good... I'm not gonna say good, I'm gonna say extremely good openers. Seems like it's gonna be tough to overcome this one. Okay, so they're gonna Karn next turn. Yep, just gonna pass here. We need to develop our game plan here. I don't think that we can really afford to. We cannot get tightened, at least as things stand, unless they have a Gracer in hand. We know they have a Karn, which is probably what they're going to be playing right now. But I think that we're going to have to get into a position where we can double spell. So I'm probably going to be cracking these Flagstones for... Okay, so they have Titan. Ugh. Really tough for us to overcome this. Oh. Going for coding. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna get another Flagstones then. Because it plays around their coding. Sure. Gonna name Giant. I guess that we're gonna name Dryad. Let's name Dryad. So Dryad. Shock here. Do we upkeep sack? Because we can trigger Valakut here. Yeah, I think we upkeep sack. Because we know they have a forest and they might have... We know they have a forest and they might have Beast Within. No, I don't want to because of exactly Beast Within. Like they Beast Within my land, and then my Valakut trigger fizzles. The Karn goes now up to 4. So yeah, that's like the worst time to do it actually. In response to the Karn activation is the worst time to do it. Because like the Karn goes up to 4, right? All right, this is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. We probably had lethal here even, and I just missed it. I didn't do the math, but this is gonna be a lot of triggers. I definitely missed lethal here. 100% missed lethal. I hope I don't get punished, but this is pretty ridiculous. I totally missed lethal. Oh no, I didn't miss lethal. Sick. Was that a good draw? Oh my god. How was Wrenn and Six performing the other decks? Terribly. It was very bad. To be fair, again, we won that game because my opponent did not have Titan on turn 3, right? They had the mana for Titan, but they didn't have the actual Titan. They had Karn, and our hand just lined up against Karn perfectly. Just like turn 1 Reclaimer. I told you, this is Splinter Twin. This is just Splinter Twin. Whenever you assemble this combo, you win the game. It's Splinter Twin that doesn't win on the spot. It's Splinter Twin that wins. It's Splinter Twin that wins like a couple of turns after you assemble it. I still think there's a play for Wrenn and Six in Titan decks, but I don't think it works with Reclaimer. That's very possible. That's very possible. I remember which Pro Tour, I think it was the last Modern Pro Tour, that there was a Breach Titan deck that performed really well, and it was playing Wrenn and Sixes. So it wouldn't surprise me that there's a way to build a Titan deck with Wrenn, but yeah, it just didn't work with the Reclaimer engine. Could you clarify why Flagstones? I'm of course being Naya Titan Vial with Wrenn when never, literally never. I am of course talking hyperbole, Bernardo. I am 100% being ridiculous about it, but yeah, it's just such a really a really powerful engine. That's all it really is. It's just a really powerful engine. It honestly kind of blows my mind how nobody ever explored this engine seriously before I started doing it. Is the modern metagame fun now? It definitely is fun for me, I'll tell you that much. What do you think Flagstones like Ghost Quarter was brought back? I've always loved brought back as a card. Yeah, brought back is unfortunately not a playable card in Modern. It's a sweet card. I will never not say that. Like, it's definitely a sweet card, but it's just not Modern power level. You need too many things. It's too situational, and you need too many things to go right for it to be good. And that's not how you want to build your Modern deck. You want to build your Modern deck in such a way that even the fail rate is still fine. But the fail rate with brought back is you get time walked. Like, we actually played against brought back. When was it? When did I play against brought back? Should I get Flagstones going or should I get Valakut going here? I'm gonna go with Valakut. We actually played against a deck playing Brought Back, and they went fetch, Brought Back, and we bogged them, and it's like, sweet, great time walk that my opponent cast on themselves. Great time walk that they just custom themselves. How many decks do you think people have tested in Moto to mediocre results that were actually really good? For example, going like 8-7 by running into many bad matchups. It probably happens more than 0 times, basically. Like, I don't think it's that weird for something like that to happen. But I honestly don't think it happens that often either. Sure. What do we want to... With the path in hand, I think we actually want to kill the Scavenging Ooze here. Which is kind of weird. We also have a... We have a secret trigger right here. Because we can Ghost Quarter on ourselves. And we can get 1 Valakut trigger. But with the path in hand, I don't think any of my opponent's 5-drops really scare me. What would scare me is something like Season Pyro. Or Bloodbraid into Season Pyro. Clothes is honestly just fine, because we can just path it. So Clothes is not even that good. But if their last card in hand is Season Pyro, I'm gonna be very scared. Hello, Venom streamer. Hello. I guess I do want to use my mana, because if I do find a Titan... Is the Carbo Live extension working? I don't know. It should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'm actually gonna kill both elves here. Both elves of the Arbor variety. Not the ones of the Bloodbraid variety. I think that making sure my opponent is limited on mana it's gonna be pretty important. And this Dryad, Brick Walls, both of these elves kind of nicely. What do we got here? Glorybringer. Yep. Oh no, this is actually fine, right? Ghost Quarter ourselves. Use Ghost Quarter's ability, yes. Get a forest. Target Glorybanger. And get a Shelter Thicket. Target Glorybanger. GTFO. Primetime? Another Flagstones, sure. Okay, if they have another Glorybanger as their last card in hand or their 1 draw step, then we're gonna be in trouble, but okay, we're fine now. And I have been not attacking because I think that my draw steps are a lot better than my opponent's. Do we want to Blast Zone now? I kind of do. Yeah, let's go. Yama Killer with the host. Thanks, Yama, for the host. How was the stream? What did you play today? Okay, that's a sick top deck for them. LOL. I fucking hate this card. Imagine if this were a Vesuva instead, and we could be doubling up on Valakut triggers. How insanely better this would be. But instead we drew like an ETB tapped plains. I'm gonna cut this card. I understand why we might want to play it. It's just so bad. It's such a bad card. it's super bad. This is a card that I would definitely have in my deck if you could If you could guarantee that I'm never drawing this card, I would be okay with having it in my deck. But the fact that you can't do that, okay, cool. It was gonna happen, right? Did you have access to the step turn 2 when they bolted? Yes, but I'm not progressing my game plan if I do that, right? So I don't know how much I do care about doing that. Maybe I should have. Maybe that was just an oversight on my part and I should have. Honestly, I'm just not used to having this card in the deck, so maybe it was correct to protect the Reclaimer there. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have done that. I honestly forgot that it was in my deck until I just saw it. Wrenn is mad because it's because I'm bad. Yeah, it's possible too. It is also possible that I suck. They seem to have Gloorbringers instead of Gargaroth, so Purge seems a lot better than Path here. I probably want like a shit ton of removal though. But trading 1-for-1 with them doesn't strike me as a winning proposition that much. Is that a Springbloom Druid? Yes, yes it is. You haven't lived until you sacrifice Springbloom Druid to... You sacrifice Druid to... You play Druid and you sacrifice Flagstones to the Druid's ability. That is what life is all about, really, if you think about it. So even if we get Mooned here, it's not that bad. My guy gonna get bolted here? No. No Bolterino. I'm into that. No Bolterino. Oh, I punted there. BBE. Oh, I guess I didn't punt. Sweet. They also made me sacrifice the one that I was gonna sack anyway. Feels good, man. Why not GQ? Because I wanted to sacrifice this land. Like, GQ actually does have value for me. Or potential value, I guess. It's a better way to put it. GQ does have potential value while Cavern of Souls doesn't. Another Bloodbraid into Utopia's Pro. Sure. Make your Blood Moons worse. This card is so sick. It's such a sick card. 2 Bloodbraids. My opponent is staring at the Reclaimer and can't do literally anything about it. Oh, I love this card so much. I love this card so much. Castle Gurnbrig. Hello. Why is Reclaimer never dying? I don't understand. I'm into it though. Maybe I should have gotten Flagstones there. I mean, nothing really matters at this point. Maybe Plains was the line, actually, but if they spend their turn casting a Blood Moon, we just kind of kill them with Titan stuff, so... Oh, they are playing Gyroth. Whatever. GTFO. We can call for Dryad. That might actually be just lethal. Yeah, because we can go squatter our own Flagstones. We go get Valakut plus Flagstones, and then we go squatter our own Flagstones, and that's lethal. Opponent stepped out. Do you think 4-Knight is playable in Modern? Probably not. Reclaimer seems like strictly better, right? Knight of the Reliquary, honestly. This hand is kind of slow. I think I'm gonna keep it. Because we can Titan. Now we can turn one. Ooh. What does it feel to be this good, you ask? What does it feel to be this good is what you're asking me? I'll tell you what. It feels very good. Splinter Twin assembled. We're gonna get to live the dream. What a delight. What a delight. Really like that Night Field deck that you rocked a long time ago. I wonder if something like that is viable now with Dryad and Valakut. Well, I was playing Dryad and Valakut already, that list. In fact, that list is kind of close to the one that we played yesterday. Except instead of being a Titan deck, the one that I was playing, it was like a Knight of the Reliquary deck instead. But it was very close otherwise. Another Lieutenant. Huh. It's a lot of damages. Am I supposed to get... I think I am supposed to get just Radiant Fountain here. Get a blocker. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted... actually, this is fine. So we do Spring Bloom, and we do, I guess, Cutter the Groves. So now we have 6 damage. We have a champ blocker, which is nice. And now, next turn, we can Bellower for Dryad. Play Valakut, play Heath. Okay, so they already used the Vial. So they would need to have... They missed the land drop twice, so they would need to have... Reflector Mage plus land. So they need to find land off the top and they need to have Reflector Mage in hand already. Which doesn't seem very likely for them to have Reflector Mage. So I think that we're going to be able to... Unless they have Meddling Mage, they could have Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage would be pretty brutal, actually. Bob. Okay, it's not one you see every day. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. We play... Do we care about killing their dudes? Or do we care about... I think we care about making dudes. More than we care about killing theirs. And I think we kill this one? Nah, just kill the Bob. Limit their outs. Dark Confidant, Lava Dart meta, yeah, for real, right? Definitely a gutsy proposition. What do you got for 3 mana? Reflector Mage. They did have the Reflector Mage. Ha. Huh. Okay. They did have the Reflector Mage. This is all fine, because we just have chompers for days. And my point is, out of cards. Definitely trading there. Chomp, chomp. And they kind of need a Meddling Mage or bust, right? Like, now not even. Just prime time. Yep. Okay, now I'm missing second field and the Vesuva. Now I'm really missing both of them. I think playing path is going to be better. So they might bounce, they might top deck another Reflector Mage, and I'm really interested in playing this out right here. So I'm going to hold on to the Sanctuary so I can use Dryad next turn. Now we can start validating stuff. I think we're good here. Unless my opponent draws Deputy of Detention. But even if they do, I can path the Deputy and response, so we're still fine. My opponent agrees. Did I do those backwards? No, I precisely said that I cared more about making dudes than I cared about getting the extra trigger. Okay, I like cutting Bog. That's it. I had no sound right when I saw it. Yeah. No, I think that making the dude was more important than killing the dude. The only card in my opponent's side that I cared about was the Bob anyway, right? The Dank Ben 3, thank you for the follow. Since I already had the second call in hand, so like killing the freebooter like saves me a damage, while making a dude saves me like 5 or 7. I don't know how much damage that chomper how much life that Chump Blocker saved me. This looks fine to me. When we have 4 paths, I kind of don't think we need Base Within. Sure. We might want to go get a basic plains. I doubt it, but maybe. I would be surprised if my opponent kept freebooters against me. Thalia. I mean, speaking of things that I'm surprised about, like, why is this card still in their deck? I have no idea. Alright, Temple Garden tapped, here we go. Actually, Scattergrove sounds better. Get that out of the way. Now we get the tapped land into play, say go. Champion. Well, that's scary. Okay, it's a lot of damage. Also, we're totally getting Reflector Mage here. And when we see land drops. Not looking good. Oh, that's a lot. No, that's actually not worse than getting Reflector Mage. Okay, so if we draw a land here, we're actually in really good shape. What is this? 3, 7. Oh, don't have it. Okay. Any land, I think, is gonna be fine. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We're just dead, right? Man, we need 80 land. Oh, we're gonna be kinda just fine. But now we're just dead. We cannot keep up with this at 5 life. Well, if we had a land, we have a fetch land here, so this kills this and this. And then, so we path here, we kill, and then we have the Dryad to chump either this, to block either this or this. So I think that we were fine if we had drawn land. Because then we call for like ramming up or something and we just make infinite land drops. So I think that if we had to find any untapped land, I think we win. Unless my opponent has like another Mantis Rider or whatever. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Thalia was rough enough in that specific situation. Yes, in that specific situation, yes. But because we had a very slow hand, right? If we had had a turn 1 Reclaimer hand, then Thalia would have done nothing. Seems mildly keepable. Not by a lot, but this could work. Pog. Big Pog. That's a big Pog right there. Even with Mage naming Dryad, we literally have a path in hand. Yeah, that Thalia looks embarrassing now. Thalia looks absolutely embarrassing here. So this is Primblum Druid, boom, boom. And now Flagstone trigger. Which is boom, right? Scatter Groves. Sure. Such a slow weak start from Born. Yeah, I think that this should be something else. Like, they have to have something better than Thalia here. There's no way that Thalia is the best thing that they can do. Makes no sense at all. Yeah, well, this is just game over now. Second field would lock it up, but like we don't even need that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah. It's true. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. No, yeah, that's fine. This and this. So now we field plus Valakut. Field plus Valakut, or I think I'm just gonna field plus Blast Zone actually. And now we do this guy, play this, let's go. Yeah. I don't think if my opponent, I mean, my opponent definitely are new to facing this deck. I really doubt that my opponent has ever played against this deck. I know they're gonna copy Primetime. This is like always such a cute thing. It's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna copy your Primeval Titan. It's just like, yeah, that's... My deck is literally built to abuse this guy, and you just copying it is not gonna be very good. But like, sure. Appreciate the thought. How do we feel about... What happens if we blow up Blast Zone? We deny the mana. The problem with blowing up Blast Zone is that... The problem with blowing up Blast Zone is that if my opponent finds a Meddling Mage and they name Primetime, we actually might fall behind. I think I'm just going to cast Gargaroth. Pretty bad that we drew a Temple Garden, but I think it's correct to not crack. Because like Meddling Mage on Primetime is the only way that we can potentially lose here. Anything else we're beating handily, so... I think that leaving ourselves with outs to that specific terrible scenario. Yeah, now Blast Zone actually can punish, for sure. And if they attack with Primetime... So they could have another Reflector Mage? Actually, let's do this. Hello. You might have stacked your triggers wrong, OP. Stacked your blockers, I mean. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's start here. That's it? Yeah, that just result, I guess. Sweet. Yeah. I don't think I have ever, since I've been playing Titan decks against humans, I don't think I've literally ever lost to my opponent using Medley Mage to copy my Primeval Titan. I literally don't think that has ever happened to me, ever. Yeah, it didn't matter, Hotashi. Musasabi, thank you for the follow. And good luck, Musasabi, this weekend. Hope that you dominate with AmuLIT. Gonna be rooting for you. Devilish Greg, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, if the Gargoyle had died, that means that we have more zombies in play, so... Oh, Medley Mage. I meant Phantasmal Image, whatever. Okay, so we want Vesuva. We definitely want Vesuva. What do we cut for this? I kind of want a second copy of Field as well. There were multiple situations where I would have liked... Like, had I been given the option, I would have gone for a second Field. And I kind of just wasn't able to. The Scatter Grove was kind of nice. Mostly because it's basically a Temple Garden that is not the same as a Temple Garden. Whether this is better or worse than just playing a Canopy Vista, which is, I don't own Canopy Vista? That's interesting. This one. Unsure whether Scatter Groves is better than Canopy Vista. But we definitely want Vesua. And I definitely want second field. If not in the main deck, maybe in the sideboard. What is the Foundry for? There's 3 boils in the sideboard. I wasn't here at the start. Why this and not Vile? Because I'm testing Dom's list. I don't think we will ever need Sajiri Step. Like, yeah, it's gonna be situations where it's gonna be cool and it's gonna do exactly what we want it to do, but like, it's just so bad. I'm not into Sajiri Step. I don't. Basically, what I'm saying is, I don't think I want Sajiri Step over any of the lands that I'm currently playing right here. Yeah, that's fine, Hotashi. I'm not using it aggressively or anything, but I just have a command there, so I have the command for a reason. So Blast Zone is legit, Cavern is legit, Canopy I kind of don't care for, but it allows me to cast Reclaimer on one, so it's like, it's not the worst. Maybe we can cut the Arid Mesa. This guy's kind of medium too. Yeah, I'm not feeling the Woodland Battleware. I agree with streamer, but sometimes it's really clear as a viewer. Yeah, I mean, Loker Flokik, I agree with you. Yeah, but like that still stands true. Maybe I should not have it like in caps, because the caps sound, I don't know. Maybe it makes it sound aggressive when in reality it's just like it's just what it is. The caps makes it sound like I'm screaming or something. The caps got me. Okay, yeah. Maybe I will uncup it. Like I can uncup it now. Okay, so what would we play instead of Woodland Bellower? What would we play instead of it? So chill, I know who would think you're yelling. I don't know. Udo. just play Uro in every deck. Yeah, hell yeah. Just lamp Uro. Easy. You can play Fierce Empath. I tried Fierce Empath and it's basically Fierce Empath without the Woodland Bellowers doesn't make that much sense. Like, I think Woodland Bellower actually becomes a lot better when you have Fierce Empath. Deck should just be band control. God damn it. God damn it. Gonna have band Triumph for the Flagstones Uro crossover episode. Brutal. Another Gracer main. That's kind of what I was thinking, honestly. It feels kind of weird to cut a payoff card for a ramp card, though. Because, like, Woodland Bellower is just like a bad payoff card, right? This is not bad, it's just, like, not always good payoff card. Should have a Dono deck day so we can get me to play the best green 6/6. Oh, man. Oracle. I have been very unimpressed with Oracle in this kind of deck. It's not great. Mirror battles, fear. Right, we're going deep. Have a list that includes files, spike trophy with it. What do you mean? You're trolling me, right? You must be trolling me. How about Tracker? Let's go with this. This also opens up a sideboard slot, which is kind of nice. So let's try this out. What do we want to play in the sideboard? Banned Eternal Command. It has Vial and Uro. Oh, okay. No, you were not trolling me. I thought you were saying that you were talking about a deck like this that plays Vial, and I'm like, yeah. I know. I know that there's a deck that has that. Fourth Boil. That's like the most SM Orc thing, right? That's the most SM Orc thing. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to like a deck edge. And then something against Graveyard. What can we play against Graveyard? Devilish Greg gifting the sub to Adam Wasma. Thank you for that, and welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Adam. Also, I saw you playing earlier against Spike. That was delightful to watch. What was it against Spike? No, you played yesterday against Everos, which was hilarious. Rest in peace? Nah. I don't feel like playing Rest in Peace in my Excavator Reclaimer deck. Knight of the Reliquary deck. Rip Knight, the ultimate combo. Yeah, you won. He put you in a situation where you needed to double deck Titan on that turn or you would lose, and then you did, and it was hilarious. Containment Priest. Yeah. I'm into Priest. Let's try it, right? Let's see what's up. This is definitely gonna be good against like Dredge and stuff, but it's obviously not gonna be good against like the blue decks, but it's fine. Also, this doesn't do anything against Storm. But it's okay. Let's try this and see what's up. Devilish Greg with the Prime sub now. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Thank you for the gifts, this sub, and for the sub. I appreciate the support. Scoos. Scoos is interesting. Scoos is interesting. Shall I for the fake guys? Nah, probably not. The World X already almost a buy. Strong disagree. Strong disagree that the World X are almost a buy. I guess I'm gonna go with Ooze actually over Containment Priest. B-Wing Niv. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna go for this. Seems better. Played Sea Garden AmuLIT 2018. Oh yeah, me too. It was so tough to cast also, but we just like slammed it because we could. Godly Sasquatch, thank you for the follow. Alright, now I think I'm gonna go with this. I've honestly kind of been trying to test Scavenging Ooze in this shell even, so it's nice. This card is probably a lot better in Titan Vial than in this deck, but still, seems worth trying. Alright, thank you for watching if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.